Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another video. In today's video, I will be breaking down today's NBA trade deadline. There were a number of deals and some exciting ones, some ones that made fans very upset, but we'll get right into it. And before we do get into it, I've done many videos like this with Michael's Sports Minute. In the top right corner, just right about now, there should be a card to watch my other Michael Sports Minute videos and more videos like this, so go check them out. But yeah, let's get right into it. On February 8th when all these trades are taking place. The first one, the Hawks sent Luke Babbitt to the Miami Heat for Okara White. The Pistons acquired Jameer Nelson and Chicago's 2022 second-round pick, while the Chicago Bulls got Willie Reed and Detroit's 2022 second-round pick. The Detroit Pistons also would later acquire James Ennis from the Memphis Grizzlies. The Grizzlies would acquire Bryce Johnson. And the Cavs were involved in a 3-year deal that would send Rodney Hood and George Hill to the Cavaliers from the Jazz. The Jazz would get Derrick Rose and Jay Crowder from the Cavs. And the Sacramento Kings got Joe Johnson from the Jazz and Iman Shumpert from the Cavs. And also from the Cavs, a 2020 second-round pick. That was actually Miami's at the time. Then another Cavaliers trade, Dwayne Wade, was traded back to the Miami Heat for a second-round pick that would go to the Cavaliers, and that is protected, heavily protected. Next, an Isaiah Thomas trade that nobody really saw coming after Isaiah Thomas said, "I'm sick of being traded," the day before today. He was traded with Channing Frye and a 2018 first-round pick, protected from Cleveland, to the Lakers, and the Lakers would send Jordan Clarkson and Larry Nance Jr. to the Lakers. And I was at school at the time, and I told my friend who's a Cavaliers fan, honestly, and he honestly thought I was joking, and he had an Isaiah Thomas shirt in his bag, and it was hilarious. He was visibly upset, and I can see why, but we'll break down some of the bigger deals when we're done announcing them. So the Blazers traded Noah Vonleh and cash considerations to the Chicago Bulls, while the Bulls would trade the rights to center Milovan Rakovic to the Portland Trail Blazers. The Knicks were involved in a 3-year deal where they acquired Emmanuel Mudiay from the Nuggets. The Nuggets would get Devin Harris from the Mavericks, and the Mavericks would get Doug McDermott from the Knicks. Also involved, a 2018 second-round pick from the Los Angeles Clippers went to the Nuggets, and a future second-round pick from Denver via Portland goes to the Dallas Mavericks. And the final deal of the day, towards the end of the trade deadline, the Suns acquired Elfrid Payton from the Orlando Magic for a 2018 second-round pick. And as we were all treated to, the Cavaliers, of course, were the busy team in the day, making 3 trades. They basically tore down this entire roster on the trade deadline. The first trade was sending Isaiah Thomas, Channing Frye, and a first-round pick straight to the Los Angeles Lakers for point guard Jordan Clarkson and small forward Larry Nance Jr. And that's one of 3 trades. The other trade they made, they sent Dwayne Wade to the Heat for a straight-up second-round pick. And I'm kind of okay with that because they weren't really using Dwayne Wade all that much. So I think that's a good trade for the Cavaliers. And then a 3-team deal where they send Derrick Rose and Jay Crowder away and acquired George Hill and Rodney Hood. And I think that was their best trade of the day because they were able to get a couple veteran guys who might be able to help them in the long run, especially both of them are guards. I think Rodney Hill is going to be the more I think he's going to be the more effective guy coming back, the most effective guy coming back to Cleveland, I think is, overall, it's definitely going to be Jordan Clarkson. Larry Nance is an okay guy. It was good for the Cavs to get him back in a trade, but he's a small forward guy off the bench who's going to give LeBron a little break at some points. But I believe that Jordan Clarkson was the best player they got back, and that was in the Isaiah Thomas trade, which I really don't think that's a good trade. But we'll go into that next. But I think that the best player they got back in that 3-team deal was Rodney Hill, because he's going to be the one who's going to be able to help them in the long run, because the Cavaliers have been lacking guard position. I think a point guard, after getting rid of Derrick Rose, they'll be able to start Jordan Clarkson at point guard, and at shooting guard, it might be J.R. Smith. Probably not. I think they're more going to go towards Rodney Hill at the shooting guard position. And now into the Isaiah Thomas trade. One nobody saw coming. Everybody said, Isaiah Thomas said, sick of being traded. I'm going to be happy to stay a Cavalier by the end of the trade deadline. And he still ended up getting traded. Just went to look up on my laptop after I had some free time to myself. And first thing I see, breaking news 2 minutes ago. Cavs trade away IT for Clarkson, Larry Nance Jr. Read the full deal. Then there's Channing Frye and a first-round pick involved. I don't think that this is a good trade, because if you would have kept that first-round pick, I think you could have easily given up IT and Channing Frye. Maybe they could have given up a second-round pick, because now you aren't going to be able to get DeAndre Jordan. He was not traded by the end of the day. You're not good. Then at that point, everybody knew that the first-round pick's gone, and they're not going to be able to get DeAndre Jordan, because they were going to have to include maybe a bench player. Maybe that's where they trade Dwayne Wade or Derrick Rose or somebody like that. But with that first-round pick to the Clippers. And the Clippers were also close to trading Patrick Beverley to the Spurs for Danny Green and a protected first-round pick in a couple of years. So, you gotta think that that first round pick that I'll get into the Patrick Beverley, but that first round pick that the Cavs could have given up for DeAndre Jordan and maybe a player like Derrick Rose, like Dwayne Wade, maybe they could have made that trade. That is where many people are just baffled, because you could have easily made that trade and you weren't able to, because you can't trade 2 first-round picks in the same year. So after you trade that first-round pick, that one you have from the Nets, you can't trade it away. So that DeAndre Jordan trade basically off the table after their first trade. And you're gonna have to give up a draft pick to get him, and you can't trade 2 first-round draft picks in the same year. And they want to protect. You can't trade 2 first-round picks from the same year, and that's where it hurts, because you're gonna need those first-round picks, because you have to rebuild this team. You're gonna have to be able to rebuild this team in a couple of years, so you're gonna want to keep all those draft picks. So, yeah. That Isaiah Thomas trade hurt the possibilities at a DeAndre Jordan trade, and I think everybody knew that. Now to the possibility of that Patrick Beverley trade. Patrick Beverley was on the verge of being traded from the Clippers to the Spurs. The Spurs were on the verge of acquiring Danny Green and a first-round pick from the San Antonio Spurs, and that would have been fantastic. That would have been a pretty good return for the Los Angeles Clippers. But I think the Clippers might be the big winners of the day in the end. I mean, DeAndre Jordan, he's been the one asking out for a long time, and he's going to be the last one to leave. That just doesn't make sense, really. But then again, you have to have a team that should maybe be able to contend, and seriously, Patrick Beverley is a team that Patrick Beverley is a player that can help this team in the long run. And not trading him, I think the Clippers might be one of the underrated big winners of the day, because they didn't trade away any of their big assets. They didn't trade away any of those players that maybe might be able to turn this team around. But they did trade Blake Griffin to the Detroit Pistons a week ago. So, yep. Well, that about wraps it up for the video, guys. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe for more of this tomorrow. I am announcing now, so if you're watching this video, and if you are watching this video and you're interested in the Winter Olympics, tune in tomorrow at 5:30. I already have the live stream scheduled. I will live stream up a Winter Olympics kind of update or preview before the Winter Olympics actually start. Tonight is the opening ceremony. I'm going to watch that, and then tomorrow live stream right here on the channel. Then I will do one on Saturday as well. Fridays and Saturdays of the Olympics I will be live streaming with updates and stuff from the Olympics. So if you're watching this, yep, you got the heads up. So thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe for more of this stuff. And again, the Winter Olympics live stream coming up, so make sure you stay tuned for that and subscribe for that. And make sure you have your notifications on so you don't miss the notification when I go live. So you're not completely going onto my channel like, wait, he live streamed, and that's when you miss the notification. So make sure you turn the notification on. And again, until next time, thanks for watching.